Where do you put this song out of all the songs on the album? Like, how do you
I
rank
don't.
this one?
I haven't ranked them. I haven't ranked them yet. To be honest with you.
Is this like kind of up there or in the middle?
I can't. I don't know because they're so different.
Yeah,
That's an honest answer.
yeah.
There's no song on there that I dislike.
It's like having 11 children, right? And you love each one, and they're just so different. You can't really rank. You can't put the one son or daughter above the other one.
It's
You
not
just
even like that because you got your favorites with the kids.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is Greg. That guy over there is Chris. And Chris, tell everyone what we have in store for them today.
Okay, in our continuation of covering the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars by David Bowie, we are up to the next song, which is called Star.
Okay.
Go take a listen. That's all I'm going to say. You know that.
Yeah.
What else can I
Yeah.
say?
That's it.
What?
I know.
You could actually go listen to the song without me even saying the title, because once you open up the video, you'll know what it is.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, man. Let me go check it out. This is not one of the songs I know from the album. So just to
Oh,
let
okay,
everyone know.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Which I think you knew that, but
Right.
everyone else out there, yeah. All right, cool. Let me go. Come back. All right, so we're looking at a 2 minute and 47-second song. That's really short. All right, get ready for real compact, intensive music. We'll see. Here we go. I'm going to bring that back. I think the answer is yes, at least from the beginning. The piano, the drums, that's great. And the bass. Sorry, is he singing So Inviting? Because if I got that right, that bass line is so inviting. It really is. That one right there, I mean, in the beginning it was great, but then that change up. All right, it's short. I'll try to let the rest ride out. But if there's other great parts that come up. I mean, there's no guarantees. All right, here we go. So is that Ziggy singing about being a rock and roll star? All right. Well, I guess I'll talk more with Chris about that, and also about the music. Hey there. I'm back. Um, yeah. So this was, I noticed right away, it was like 2 minutes and change. A
Yeah, another
really,
short
really
one. Yeah,
short song, and I was
a
like,
lot of songs
oh,
on this album are short.
yeah. I just thought, well, the first couple I thought were long. I thought the first one was long.
Only
I
in
think Moon Age
comparison.
Daydream was pretty long too. And then you've had some pretty short ones, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
But what I was expecting though was compact, you know, kind of moving and grooving. Um, and I got it.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say they definitely delivered on those aspects.
what I was surprised about though, there was like a sort of a throwback to like some
Rock
old
and
time
roll,
rock
early
and
rock and
roll,
roll. Yeah,
you know, a little 50s
especially with
kind
that
of.
piano. It's almost like a Jerry Lee Lewis kind of
The
thing. With the
piano,
fucking
yeah.
piano. Yeah.
Is that Bowie playing piano?
Well, according to what I'm looking at, the piano was both Mick Ronson and David Bowie, and that was
Okay.
listed for another song we covered from this album too. So I don't know if it's just given some general,
Yeah.
listing the personnel the same pretty much for
Yeah.
every song
Yeah.
here, or if they both contributed each time.
That Mick Ronson, man, yeah, not just a guitarist. I mean,
Yeah.
he could play other
He's a
instruments. Yeah.
very talented guy.
Um, and also the bass. The bass. There was certain parts of the song where it went into most like do 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 do. It was like where the flow, because this song in its very shortness definitely had changes. You know, there were changes in tempo and
Mhm.
then boom boom boom. You know, so it definitely made it interesting. Absolutely. So in the very beginning, the first line that Bowie sings, uh, one guy jumped out at me, and as the song was going on, and then I heard little glimpses, but not as much as that first line. Gary Newman jumped out at me, and then a little later, Pete Shelley too. Those two singers, you know, and those two have been sort of been likened to Bowie, you know, like almost like copying, adapting, the
Mhm.
Bowie, Ziggy Stardust kind of persona, or like in the voice, I know Newman got a lot of, I thought he got some flack from that. People were like, "Oh, he's just a Bowie wannabe," which is a shame because actually Gary Newman's really talented, and some songs I want you to react to. But that said, back to the song. Um, that was just interesting, and the reason why I bring that up is because how influential David Bowie was. And
Wait, you're saying when the singing started in the song, those two
it
people
sounded
came
like,
to mind?
definitely sounded like Gary Newman, and
Okay,
he had gotten some criticism,
right. Okay,
for
I
it
got you.
sounding like Bowie. And so when I heard that line, it just sounded so much, and I'm like, it just kind of like dawned on me how well, I kind of knew that, but this album was so influential. And just for those two guys right there, you could just, they sort of adapted to Bowie. I mean, there's just no
Mhm.
doubt that you hear Bowie in both of those singers. But anyway, but that was interesting.
That's
And
one of those things. Like it's influence. It's not. I don't know if anybody's necessarily copying it. It's
well,
just
because critics are
it's
critics,
influence.
and yeah, right. Both those guys actually came up with their own really, really good
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why those two jump out at me, because they actually did make a mark,
Mhm.
in music on their own.
Right.
That said, yeah, the bass was so good. Yeah, that start, man. The start to that song was, yeah, the piano and the drums and the bass. I mean, it was like dun, dun, dun. Jerry Lee Lewis. That's so funny, man. I wasn't even thinking like that. Yeah, that's cool. Now I could just see him. He's Lewis
Standing
at
up
the
and
piano.
banging the key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Kicking
maybe a
kicking
little.
kicking the stool out from under him. Right back.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the stool, the bench.
No, I know what you meant. Or Little Richard. Woo.
Yeah. Right.
Um, then there was a really cool. There was and it was so fleeting. Like for 5 seconds, there was this little guitar that kind of like this little it was like this kind of like really slide thing or something. It was like really. Yeah, and then it was
I'd have to
gone. I'm
listen
like,
to that.
no, I wanted more of that. It was very, very brief.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean then. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then it slowed down, which
At the end.
was at the end. Yeah, it slowed down. It actually it kind of went to two phases of slowdown. Slow down and then it slowed down even more. Which was again was kind of interesting. So, and what is the effect? Because you and I have talked about that Bowie sound, the instrumentation, the bass and the drums, but the drums themselves, well, just the drum, it just had this almost like a muffled, like putting a blanket over, like it
Mhm.
just had that.
On the bass drum, or what are you
No,
saying?
just the drums themselves, just very, very, very
Yeah, I
muffled,
got what you said. I got what you're saying. It doesn't have
underwater,
that
something like
resonant
that.
sound. It's very
Yeah.
flat, kind of. Yeah.
You know
Okay.
who else had that a little bit in his recordings was John Lennon in his solo time. He was using drums
Yeah,
like
the
that
drums
too.
wouldn't like really ring out. It was kind of like a
Yeah.
short staccato. It was like a staccato kind of
I
feel
don't know if that became like a
with everything.
70s sound for some artists, maybe Ziggy Stardust kind of broke them,
Yeah.
just set the tone, and some people were going with that. But that was so noticeable in this song out of all the other ones. That was really interesting. And I guess this is Ziggy Stardust now, right? He is he's on Earth, and
He's
he's
figuring he can be a rock
he's
star.
talking about can fall asleep as a rock and roll star. You can do this as a rock and roll star, rock and roll. He's like, this is my purpose on this planet. I'm going to be a rock and roll star.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's how it's
So,
done.
so what information do you have?
Basically what you just said. It's not really. There's not much hidden. There's really no hidden meaning here.
Right.
It's a good rocker song, and which fits the whole meaning of the song, right?
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I really like this song, and I like the whole album, of course. But again, like we've been saying as we go through each song, they're all so different from each other that it really makes it interesting.
Do you think,
That's one of the reasons I picked this album to cover all in its entirety.
where do you put this song out of all the songs on the album? Like, how do you
I
rank
don't.
this one?
I haven't ranked them. I haven't ranked them yet. To be honest with you.
Is this like kind of up there or in the middle?
I can't. I don't know because they're so different.
Yeah.
That's an honest answer.
Yeah.
There's no song on there that I dislike.
It's like having 11 children, right? And you love each one, and they're just so different. You can't really rank. You can't put the one son or daughter above the other one.
It's not even like that because you got your favorites with the kids.
Well, it's like that on your album. Come on, man. When you have an album, you got to have favorites. You got to be like, these songs are up here, these are in the middle,
Depends
and
on what
these are
mood
over
I'm
here.
in. I don't have an answer
I
for that.
do
I'd
think
have to
that
think about it.
I think that songs. I'm actually being serious now. They are like, you can sort of compare them to
I
children.
don't think it's the best song on the album.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because in one of the comments, I think for the last one, someone had said, "Yeah, this is when it really gets going now. Everything from here on out is
Yes, that's
fantastic,
right. I
is
saw that
great."
comment.
And
Yeah.
I read that, I was like, "Okay." So when I listened to it, I liked it. It was fun. It was a good listen. No doubt. But I was like, I was expecting maybe like greatness, and I didn't know if I got that out of the song.
Okay.
So I'm being honest with that.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, it's for, I'm going to say this too, right? For a rock and roll feel song, leave it to Bowie to like just shake it up and make it, change it up and put his own this,
Right.
that, and changes and everything else. So I'm going to give you a rock and roll song because, and in a way, the more I think about it now, if the message really was Ziggy Stardust, he is like, realizing this is what I'm going to be on this. I'm going to be a rock and roll star. I'm going to be a rock and roll star. Well, I guess he felt like the song had a sound, feel, reflect that.
Yeah, it
Ziggy
definitely
wanted to be a
did.
rock and roll star, and made it really interesting. So I'll leave it at that. And then, like I said, it was a really fun, enjoyable listen. So cool. All right, man. I'm going to take us out.
Take us out.
Say, Chris, have a good day. And to everyone out there, really hoping that that if most of you have been following along on our track by track reaction to Ziggy Stardust, hopefully you enjoyed this one as well. And if you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't subbed yet, that'd be pretty cool. And look around our channel down below the hashtags. Also on our channel page, there's a Ko-fi icon and Ko-fi link. And what is that? Buy us a cup of coffee virtually, and we guarantee a request for you. And with that said, we'll see everyone on the next episode of Into the Music.
See you.